right, welcome out to the Best in Sports here on a Wednesday afternoon. Tim Johnson, Kenny Link, and the Ram Man rebounding basketball machine free through new.
Charles Russell.
Can't even shoot, I'm telling you right now. Had to win $100 for him, Kenny. Addison Johnson live with us here today, folks. Hope you're having a great Wednesday out there. Kenny, we're just a few days away for Santa Claus come around the corner. He's going to be on that sled, and I'm sure he's going to be bringing you a lot of presents, and I'm sure he's going to be bringing that new grandbaby, him and Sawyer, some new presents too.
Yeah, they were talking about, what do you get a newborn baby? And Sawyer said, give him a chew toy. He just wants to chew on things like a dog. She said, well, he's not a dog. He said, well, he likes to chew on things.
Now that's the first right there.
You know, that's probably a pretty good idea.
Kenny got a new grandbaby, and I know he's excited. Every time I call him, he says, I'm waiting on my grandbaby to come see me, and I've got a grandbaby coming. Addison's going to be an uncle, so we're excited about our grandbaby. Mr. Emerson, Ashton sent me a picture today, and she was saying, Dad, did you show Caleb the picture of Emerson and Tony? I said, yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, we're excited to have that. Addison, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just watching the Cowboys get beat, blown out, basically. They ain't getting beat. And watching the Steelers beat up on the old Tom Brady.
Man, I tell you, I'm looking at our Kevin Hastings. He's grinning from ear to ear.
In my book. That's a great weekend. And the Panthers lost, too. I'm so happy.
Hey, let's talk some positive here. How about the Shelby Golden Lions? Congratulations to the Shelby Golden Lions. 5, ladies and gentlemen, state championships within the last 6 years. Ken, I'm telling you right now, I've said it from day one.
That's domination.
That's just a dynasty. Yeah. I mean, when you think high school football throughout the state of North Carolina, you got Shelby's up there. Got to be 1, 2, or 3. I'd say number one.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna say number one.
And they just keep doing it. And this year they probably going into season didn't have as good a team on paper as past season, but Tim, after a slow start, 1-3, they kept getting better and better, and as it always happens, when it comes playoff time, they're playing their best football, and they carried it all the way through and won 42-21 over North Davison Saturday afternoon to win that 2 AA championship, like you said, 5th championship in the last 6 years.
Big time dynasty there.
That's just dominance. That's great coaching too, as well.
And talking about dominance, what about the Western teams? There's 8 classifications. Western teams won 6 of the 8 championships over the weekend.
Knock it out for us, Ken. Tell our audience out there.
Well, Murphy, another team that's used to winning championships up in the mountains, they won the 1A championship. In fact, they beat somebody like 60-27, Palmico or something.
Crazy.
Wow. And then 1AA, there's that team again, Tarboro, another team that's used to winning championships.
Yep.
Won another one. And you get to the 2A, 2 single A, Reachville. They are just like Shelby. They're there. They usually win. And so the 2A and 2AA, there's your Western teams, Reachville and Shelby. Now let's get to the 3A. Charlotte Catholic wins the 3A. Weddington wins the 3AA. Tim, those teams are out of the same conference. Now that's the first time that's been done since 2014 and 2015 when Shelby and Crest, both from the same conference, those 2 years, won state championships.
Same county, same city.
Yeah,
I mean, if you don't go to Shelby, you go to Crest. If you don't go to Crest, go to Shelby. So right there you have it, folks.
And then you get to the 4A. East Forsyth came back with a couple of late touchdowns and beat Scotland. And Wake Forest in the 4AA beat Vance 9-7. I saw the tail end of that game, Tim. It was 7-7. Wake Forest driving got close enough to try a short field goal with less than a minute left. It was blocked. But Vance recovered the ball on the 1-yard line. 34 seconds left. Looked like it's going to overtime, right? Fumbled the snap from center, fell on it in the end zone, safety. Wake Forest wins 9-7.
How about that?
Wow.
Well, congratulations, Wake Forest. Yeah, Vance had a great year this year.
Wake Forest and Tarboro are the 2 Eastern teams that won championships. All the other championships were won by Western teams.
How about that? A lot of good football on this side of the, I guess, this side of the state over here in the western part. A lot of good football. No doubt about it. Let's see here. Addison, how about the let's see what got NFL. How about the NFL standings there?
Well, starting out in the NFC East, you got Dallas in 8-6, Philly at 7-7, Washington at 7-7, and the Giants coming at the rear 5-9. I was going to look up the remaining schedule for the Cowboys, but I figured you already knew that. What's the remaining schedule?
They play Tampa Bay this Sunday.
The Giants, right?
They play Giants last game of the season, yeah. So sure do.
Where are those games?
So they play Tampa Bay at Dallas, Tampa Bay at Dallas, and then Dallas will go to the Giants. Now here's the thing. Now if Dallas don't beat Tampa Bay, I'm going to get really worried.
No, hold on.
I'm going to get really worried.
Question. So to change,
all they got to do is win. That's it.
So if they win one game, they're in.
Over. It's over. Yeah.
So if they win one, they're good. But what if?
Now even if they get beat, listen to this. If they get beat and Washington, Philadelphia gets beat, then they win it too.
Okay, but what if Philly wins 2 in a row and Dallas?
It doesn't
wins
matter.
one?
Dallas just wins one. All they got to do is say they beat Philadelphia twice. All they got to do is win one game. One game.
Well, at least they play them one at home because they are certainly not very good on the road.
Well, here's my. Let me tell you my philosophy. Okay, if Dallas wins the East, I think they're going to go deep in the playoffs. If they get beat by Tampa Bay, I'm going to tell you they're not going to beat the Giants. I'm going to tell you that.
The Giants
will be fired up to play the Cowboys to send them home.
Well, they'll be fired up to play the Cowboys
regardless. Right, but it'd be extra incentive. You know what I'm saying? So if they can find a way to knock the Cowboys out after, you know.
Well, let me ask you a question, Tim. This is a serious question.
Okay.
I know we give you a hard time about the Cowboys. Defense does travel. It really does.
Defense wins championships.
Defense usually wins by
I got news for you.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys got to figure out how to make their offense travel because you can't go on the road and fail to score.
Well,
I mean, you just can't do that no matter how good your defense is.
Listen, I mean, this is sports analogy here. Everybody says, well, it was a good loss. It was a good loss. Well,
there ain't no such thing.
There ain't no such thing as a good loss. I believe. But listen, guys, I'm a firm believer. I'm glad they got beat. Now, 23-0, the Colts, they beat the Colts years ago, 5-6 years ago. Romo did. He had like 45-7 or 8, whatever. It was just a killing. You know, that's when Dallas won the division, went on to the playoffs, and they won one playoff game, I believe it was. Or
they got beat.
I can't remember.
But
anyway,
it was 5 years ago against a team. It's completely different personnel. I mean, you know.
Right, but anyway, they're young. They got probably top 3 defense in football, in my opinion. You got the Bears, you got them, and I'm gonna tell you something, guys.
Bears got the best defensive player in football. Khalil Mack's the best defensive player.
He's pretty
in football.
good. I agree with you, but
people say Aaron Donald. Khalil Mack's the best player in football.
Well, he's playing better than Aaron Donald, but I tell you what, if I was gonna start a football team on the defensive side, Aaron Donald would be the number 1 pick I'd pick.
I take Khalil Mack because Khalil Mack.
I disagree with you.
He reminds me of Lawrence Taylor. He takes a lot of that pressure off.
Don't even put him in the same sentence as Lawrence Taylor. He's good.
He's great.
Lawrence Taylor was a defense.
Exactly, but Khalil
Mack's not a defense.
Khalil Mack makes everybody around him better too.
One thing
you don't understand what I'm trying to say.
One thing about let's talk a little bit about that North. The Chicago Bears have impressed me.
I'm telling you, they're
with
pretty
the
good.
great defense that Addison's talking about.
I don't think they got.
They're
the
pretty good offensively. Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
He's young. I'm saying
they're going to win that division. And when they play at home, when they play at home, Tim, you talking about who's going to do what? When they play at home, they're tough.
They're tough. Yeah, I mean,
but the thing is, Trubisky can't throw 4 interceptions and somehow have the defense win the game. When you get in the playoffs, you throw 4 interceptions, you're going to lose the game.
You're going to lose the game. Yeah, no matter how good your defense is.
I mean, it don't matter. Trubisky's got to step up and make better decisions.
And not to jump on the Cowboys, but Prescott, he turns it over, and ain't just interceptions.
Listen, I'm telling you, I believe you.
But the difference between the Cowboys and the Bears is
they got running back.
They got a running back who they can hand the ball. If they hand the ball, every game they have won. You look at the record. If they hand the ball off 20 more times, they're going to win the game.
That's why I'm holding hope on that. That's why I'm holding hope.
It don't matter if they can't throw the ball. Let Zeke run it 20 or more times, because every time they do that, somehow the offense becomes better passing too.
Listen, Zeke ain't the reason why they lost the game Sunday. He had 132, I think, yards.
It wasn't his fault.
No, he had. I mean, he rushed for 80-some yards.
The passing game didn't do it.
Well, I mean, Cooper didn't have a good game. They shut Cooper down. They just didn't play good. They weren't ready to play. Simple as that. They were not. Listen, that game meant nothing. Listen, guys, the game against the Colts meant nothing. Yes, if they'd have won the division. But it was a non-division game. That game don't mean anything whatsoever. And I'm going to ask you a question, guys. Back when I'm trying to think, 2009 or 10, when the New England Patriots went undefeated, and they played the last game of the season, played the Giants, and they beat the Giants at New York for the last game of the season. They went 16-0. Okay, remember this. The Giants got on a roll and went all the way through the playoffs and won the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots again. So beat them in a Super Bowl. Do you remember that? Y'all remember that?
Yeah, but what's your point? You're not going to
My point. Let me tell you what the point is.
Indy in the NFC playoffs.
No,
kid.
my point is the Cowboys is that type of team of the Giants.
I tell you what, this stuff of turning on and turning on and turning it off, it don't work. You got to come to play every game.
I'm telling you right now, the Cowboys remind me of that kind of a team.
Let me tell you something about the Bears. This is how good their defense is. Against the Rams, Mitchell Trubisky had 110 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 3 interceptions, and had a sack, and only had 6 rushing attempts for 26 yards. That's how good the defense is, and yes, they still won that game.
Yeah,
3 interceptions.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the
1
team.
touchdown. That's
I'm gonna tell you now. Y'all probably gonna think I'm crazy. I'm gonna tell you the team that I think can win it all.
Chargers.
No, well they could. Yes, I agree with you. In AFC, Seattle, the Seattle Seahawks. I'm telling you right now.
Too young.
Russell Wilson is when he's like Tom Brady in the playoffs. He's a big time player. He makes big time plays, and that defense is playing really good. And I'm gonna tell you something. Look at the rushing. They got 3 running backs.
Yeah, they're
really good. And
they average 150 rushing yards a game.
That's what I'm saying.
As a team.
So I'm telling you right now, Seattle, Dallas, and Chicago. One of them 3 teams are going to go to Super Bowl. You mark my words.
If I had my money,
it ain't going to be this high-power offense.
I tell you what, if I was betting on anybody, and you sit here and say, well,
I would bet on Seattle.
I would.
And then Dallas.
I know Ken's Carolina Blues coming out, but I'd bet on the Bears because.
Oh, man, I tell you right now.
I tell you what, it's just like Addison said.
I just don't. I think
he's got to play better. He's too young.
If they had another quarterback, I'd say, Ken, you're probably right.
Well, if Dallas had another quarterback, I think you're probably right. They'd get to the Super Bowl.
Well,
he doesn't impress
it's just
me.
that
He doesn't.
Dak doesn't impress me either. But the thing is, they can hand the ball off and they can run the ball 20 times a game and easily win it. But it's going to be a 6-0, 7-0 game.
Listen, Dak's going to have to make plays.
It's going to be a low-scoring game.
He's going to have to eventually make plays for them to advance. Well, if he doesn't do that, if he doesn't make the plays for them to advance, we got a problem.
Well, let me ask you a question.
We might ought to get a quarterback.
What's your thoughts about the Rams, who lost 2
Rams? Listen, they don't.
The Rams fell apart,
and also New Orleans. They don't all of a sudden can't score points.
Okay, what did Carolina do to the Saints the other night? What they do?
Well, they shut their offense down.
Okay, what shut them down? The defense.
Yeah, the defense.
Absolutely.
So there you got to have an offense to complement the defense. If the defense is going to shut down the other offense, if the offense still can't score points, it's still going to be no. It's going to be
I agree
game.
with you. The Chargers got both. They got off. Listen, Chargers got something.
They got offense and defense.
Well,
when they get Melvin Gordon back, it's going to be hectic.
Listen, think about this. They got Phillip Rivers. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. The Chargers can run the table.
Who's the leading MVP for? Who's got the leading MVP candidate? Who's the leading
Mahomes
MVP?
Is the MVP. But let me tell you something right now. What did Phillip Rivers do? Come back behind. He was down.
Yeah, but Drew Brees has got the best passer rating.
I don't care.
He's got the best touchdown to interception ratio.
He's always, because they're predominant throwing the football. And he's a great quarterback. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
They got 2 running backs.
He's going to have great stats.
They got 2 great running backs.
Phillip Rivers may surprise everybody and win. He's probably right now, I'd say he's number 2 behind Mahomes.
All right, let's before we continue on the AFC, what's your prediction about who are the 2 wild card teams out of the NFC?
Seattle without a doubt.
Seattle and
I don't know.
Minnesota?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, honestly,
I'm pointing at Seattle.
Philadelphia. The Eagles can still. Nick Foles. He might bring them back.
I'm saying Minnesota and Seattle. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to say Seattle without a doubt. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Minnesota, I don't know. I'm not crazy about Kirk Cousins. That's just me.
And let's talk about the Panthers just a second.
Philly's
it's been announced that they are setting Cam Newton down for the last 2 games. He's been playing with a hurt shoulder, and
that's the reason they're losing.
Well, that's one of the reasons. That's because he hasn't been able to do it in a couple of these close games at the end. And he certainly didn't play well Monday night. Well, that's one of the reasons.
Their defense is just now playing good. They played
absolutely.
Good.
When
you can't play good at the end of the season.
When Rivera got rid of a couple guys and said, "Let me call the plays," the defense looked Monday night like it's supposed to.
Go ahead.
And so the defense finally is playing well. I agree with you, Addison. Defense been
the front seven's always been playing well. They played good all throughout the season. It's just their secondary has been in suspect. Their secondary has not been playing good all season.
Their defensive end play hasn't been great all year. They really
well,
haven't.
the defensive line hadn't either.
Well, I'm just saying defensive end, they haven't got the pass rush like you normally need to
right,
have.
I agree with you.
Well, they got 38 years old on the side. Julius Peppers is coming to hit him.
Yeah.
He's 38 years old.
He's still playing good.
He's playing good, but I mean he's not Khalil Mack or Von Miller. He can't.
No,
he's not those guys.
He never has been. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
So. I don't know. In his prime, he was great.
Maybe in college, but I mean he's Hall of Fame. I mean he's Hall of Fame, but he's not being what he could have been. I don't think he's gave 100%. I don't think he's really gave football what he should have. If he would have, he could have been a freak to me. I mean, he's a freak of athlete, but he could have been even he could have been really scared.
But
excuse me.
But the Panthers, I predict that they, certainly, I think they'll lose the last two games. Not a off the wall prediction with the way they've been playing, and they'll finish 6-10, and that's okay for me as a fan. I'm not saying that players should go out there and tank, but for a fan's perspective, it's okay with me if they finish 6-10 and get a better draft pick.
Sounds like a winner. All right, boys, we're gonna go to a commercial here and be right back on WCSL 1590 and 92.3 right here today on The Best in Sports.
Live and uniquely local.
It's a community station.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville.
It's Your Feed in downtown Cherryville introduces Tammy Glover. Tammy is now working at It's Your Feed doing pedicures and manicures for senior citizens. Tammy has years of experience working with Sloan Fortenberry at Carolina Care. She also has 3 years of cosmetology. Tammy will be at It's Your Feed every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Sloan will be back at the salon in February. Call Tammy or Sloan for your appointment and ask about It's Your Feed gift certificates. Call Tammy at 704-308-8809 or Sloan at 704-460-8669 for It's Your Feet in Cherryville.
Before you buy, give Sellers Service Center in Cherryville a try. Garen and Jordan invite you to come in. Compare their services, but best of all, compare their prices. From a tune-up to an oil change. Plus, they're a North Carolina inspection station and a certified U-Haul dealer. And be sure to check their prices on your next set of tires. Sellers Service Center on the Dallas-Cherryville Highway, open 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till noon on Saturday. That's Sellers Service Center.
I'm a veteran. We hit a mine in Vietnam.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My victory's been never giving up hope.
DAV helps veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I finally admitted, with my PTSD, I wasn't doing well.
So veterans can reach victories, great and small.
Now I wish I'd found DAV sooner. My victory is just enjoying each day.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Free classifieds at every edition of the What's Up Shopper, covering Cleveland, Lincoln, and Gaston counties. Place your free classified ad today in this week's What's Up Shopper.
Oh, most of them. That's for sure.
All righty, folks. We are back here at WCSL 1590 and 92.3 right here today. Tim Johnson, Ken Link, and Addison Johnson. And I tell you what, boys, the Carolina Panthers, I like what they're going. I like the direction they're going in with.
All right.
So what we got going on?
All right. So I had some fun stats for you guys, but I wasn't finished. So I want to keep giving them to you real quick. Cam Newton on his starts. I want to talk about some interesting stats. I thought these were interesting. This year, Cam and Dak Prescott have thrown more passes than Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers.
Wow.
I'm going to say that out loud again for all the folks who think that who have misconceptions about these offenses. Cam Newton and Dak Prescott have both thrown more passes than Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees.
this year.
And
This
that's shocking.
year.
Dak Prescott, the one about Dak Prescott shocks me more than anything because
This year.
Cam throws a lot. Most
Cam
of his
does
are
And
a
of
lot.
course,
Cam
and of
throws a
course,
lot.
Breeze and Rivers have more yards and touchdowns than those two, and they've
yeah.
thrown more passes. So
Yeah.
This-
very much more efficient passing.
To me, this
Absolutely.
is the best year Rivers has ever had. I mean, he's had great years, but this is the MVP year for him.
So they're talking about Cam's completion percentage to Christian McCaffrey, guys. He's completing 86% of his passes. To everyone else, 60.5.
Yep.
So 87% to Christian McCaffrey, 60 to everyone else. Starts.
But
How about
wait a minute,
win?
Kevin, you know what that means, don't you? He's doing a lot of check downs.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's what it is.
It also means if he gets it anywhere close, McCaffrey can catch it.
So let's talk.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He is a really good catcher.
Yes, he is.
But
Yeah.
but here's the point on that though. They drafted him 8th. Kamara went in the 3rd round. Same draft. They're 0-4 against the Saints since that draft.
Wow.
So
Kamara's pretty
I'm
good.
not saying McCaffrey's not good. What I'm saying is they could have got the same running back
In the
2
third,
rounds
yeah.
later, and
Less money.
this could be a number 1 wide receiver or a replacement for Greg Olsen or something instead of McCaffrey. So you got to think about that as well. Now let's talk wins and losses. Career, Cam has started 8 seasons now. 5 of those he's had a losing record. He's only had 3 winning seasons of the 8 years he's been the starter of the Carolina Panthers. Only 3 winning seasons in 8 years. So let's compare that to some of the other folks. I know some of these Cowboy fans will like this stat. Tony Romo and Danny White.
Hey!
You ready for this one? Combined, 10 starts or more in a season, never had a losing record.
How about them Cowboys?
Neither Danny White nor Tony Romo, who Cowboys fans associate with losing, both of them had winning records. Danny White was 62-30.
Yeah, he
65% of his
a lot of
wins.
people don't realize how good of a quarterback he was. He was actually pretty good.
So Cam now has more losses than Romo. Cam had 52. Romo had 49.
How many more playoff wins does Cam have over Romo?
1.
Okay.
One. He's got. Hold on.
Played a while, didn't he?
He's got 1, and he beat John Skelton, the 3rd-string quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals.
How about
All
Kenny?
right. So, how about Danny White is 10-8 in playoff games.
Danny who?
NFC Championship
10
game,
and
what,
8.
three
Three
times?
NFC Championship
There you
games.
go.
he lost.
I know who Danny White is. That's that guy Tim knocked me down trying to meet.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, we
Hey,
talked
Kevin.
Yeah.
So guess who's so what would you say the MVP? Who the top MVP candidates you think?
All right, we're going to get to that in a
Mahomes.
minute. Let me finish with this.
Without a doubt.
I got some more quarterback ratings I want to read you. All right, people think Joe Flacco is not any good. He's 92-63. Cam would have to go 24-9 to tie Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, let's see, Steve Young was 94-49. Joe Montana, guys,
Great one. That's what we call him.
117-47.
Wow.
So
what's his win percentage?
Cam would have to go 49 and -5 to tie Joe Montana. He would have to win his next 50-some straight
Don't mention
games.
his name with the great one, okay? Just take it out.
Bernie Kosar went 53-53. Now here's the one. Here's 2 that everyone wants to compare Cam with. How about Randall Cunningham and Russell Wilson? Okay.
Oh God.
Cunningham, 85, 58, and 1.
Huh.
Cam would have to go 17-6 to tie Randall Cunningham.
How about Russell?
Russell Wilson is 81, 40,
He's a winner.
and 1. 122 games. Cam's played 121 games. Cam has 13 more wins. Russell has 13 more wins than Cam. Kurt Warner, 76-59. Brad Johnson.
Oh my gosh! Don't go there.
Brad Johnson, 76-56. Cam would have to go 8-4 to tie Brad Johnson.
Kevin, I don't know if you know this, but Ken's blood pressure is getting really high in
I'm
here.
just trying to understand.
I'm just reading the wins and losses. I'm not making any points.
There's a lot of football players on a team.
How about Mark Sanchez?
Is the quarterback the only one that can win a ball game for a team?
You're right.
Evidently so.
How about Mark Sanchez has played in 2? Mark Sanchez has been in 2 conference championship games. He's 4-2 in the playoffs.
Yeah, and whose team is he on now?
He's on the Redskins. They're in the playoff hunt still.
Yeah. How much playing time he get?
They got more wins than the Panthers.
Hey, he went to what?
They beat
2
the
NFC
Panthers, too.
championships?
Notice he talks a lot
He's
about
been to
the
2.
wins, and I know wins
He's been
are
to 2.
certainly the most important thing. By a team. By 18.
Well, he's a Browns fan.
When I say past stats, y'all don't want to talk past stats. So I say wins. We don't want to talk about wins. What are we going to talk about?
We can talk about past stats, but all you want to talk about is completion.
Kevin, I
percentage.
guarantee you one thing. Now, Kevin, listen to this. I guarantee you one thing. You will agree with me on this. Cam Newton dresses better than everybody.
Oh.
He does.
You talk about the cheerleaders or the men? He's not dressing better than the men out there. Cam beat.
I got you. I got you one. What was the Browns' record last year? And how many quarterbacks did they go through?
What does that got to do with anything?
Since Cam's been in the league, how many quarterbacks has the Browns went through?
They've won the same number of Super Bowls as the Browns. I mean the Panthers.
Yeah, but they have how many winning seasons have they had?
Are we giving out participation awards?
You're giving college football. You're giving out wins.
Is this
You're
college
giving
football?
out wins.
I'm not giving out anything. I'm just reading.
How many wins does the Panthers have towards the Browns?
To the Browns, they beat them this year.
Give out the Panthers wins through the last 5 years, and give out the Browns wins throughout the last 5 years, and then we'll just compare those stats.
Okay, without looking at it, let's say the Panthers have more wins. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? I'm just reading Cam Newton's stats. That ain't got nothing to do with the Browns.
Yeah, because who does Cam Newton play for?
The Panthers.
And who do you not like?
Redskins, and that's it.
Yes. Dodge the bull.
What are you talking about, Addison?
Dodge the bull.
What are we talking about?
Cam Newton.
You were talking about Cam Newton.
I know, and I'm just reading the stats.
And
he's a Cam Newton.
Y'all are getting upset over me reading stats.
No,
Tim, did I say anything good
Kevin,
or
I'm
bad?
in your corner, man.
All I'm doing is reading the wins and losses.
Stats don't lie.
Stats don't lie.
How many MVPs does Randall Cunningham have?
You want me to read the MVPs?
How many MVPs does Randall Cunningham have?
Hold on, I'm going to look at it. Give me a sec. I'm going to do something for you, Addison, because the people talk about this MVP thing all the time. And the thing about it is,
Drew Brees has never won an MVP.
Exactly. So that's how you know it's fraudulent, you dodo.
Fraudulent?
Let me tell you, in 1983, Addison, the kicker for the Washington Redskins was MVP.
He had a great season.
You don't win MVP, you're voted on MVP. Cam's MVP season, he was 16th in passing yards. So you don't want to talk completion percentage. There's your yards. He was 16th.
He did everything.
And he did nothing on the ground that year, right?
Yeah.
He's a heck of a running back.
About that one.
He's a heck of a running back.
35 passing touchdowns that season, too.
He scored
35 passing touchdowns, too.
He scored more touchdowns than any player in the league. Not any quarterback, any player but one or two.
I mean, that's cute.
That's not cute. It's real touchdowns.
So,
it's
facts.
Here's your one.
Facts.
You want to talk about the wins?
It helps you win games, don't it?
Here's your defense.
I thought he did.
Here's your
Touchdowns win games.
Here's your defense, guys. Here's your defense. Panthers defense in the 8 years that Cam's been playing. They've been top 10 3 times. Those were the 3 times Cam had a winning record. The only times he ever had a winning record was when he had a top 10 defense.
That's very. I didn't know that. That's very interesting.
Well, defense
Well,
helps you
I'm
win
gonna
ball
tell you
games. Just like I said, it's not all about the quarterback every time.
Now I've got some names for Addison in there. Now these guys these are some heroes right here. Y'all sit tight.
Listen to this. Gotta be some Cowboys.
Mark Mosley.
Who's
Mark
that?
Mosley, kicker.
Ken
for the Redskins?
Ken Anderson.
Quarterback, Cincinnati Bengals.
Brian Sipe.
Browns.
Browns MVP quarterback.
Yep. Yeah.
Burt Jones.
Baltimore Colts.
Larry Brown. Earl Morrall. And Paul Hornung.
Green Bay.
Those are all MVPs.
Larry Brown, I believe he
Redskins.
played. Redskins, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying stats. I'm giving you Mark Sanchez, real quick, guys. Everybody wants to hate on him. 4-2 in the playoffs. When we talk about playoff records, he's 4-2. He's only lost twice in championship games. Career, 86 touchdowns, 86 interceptions.
Jesus.
His best year, 11-5, 3,400 yards, which was
and a butt fumble.
64%, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Season starting 10-plus games, 4. He only had 1 season with a losing record in his career, had Mark Sanchez. So there's you Sanchez fans. All right, I just wanted to read some stats for you guys. I wasn't interpreting anything. I was just reading that out. As far as the MVP, I've got Mahomes on that because the defense is 28th and they're 11-3. He's getting no help whatsoever on the defense. Drew Brees is my favorite for the whole year. He deserves an MVP.
He does.
It's a shame that he don't have one.
But are we giving MVPs for his whole
You're right.
career?
And they did that.
Giving it for
You're right. And they did that to
season?
Peyton Manning twice. They gave him
that
MVP
don't make no
career
sense.
MVPs, and it's not. Nah, I don't agree with it.
Well, when he was MVP, what was his years that he was MVP? Peyton.
He tied one year with Steve McNair from Tennessee.
Yeah, you got to
Titans.
come MVP.
But what was the other? There was one MVP. He had like 50-something touchdowns, and I mean
that was Denver Broncos.
I would have given him the MVP on that one. I mean, his team was like so much better, and he had a great defense too. But I mean, heck, his offense was way overpowering.
The MVP discussions don't excite me really much at all.
That's what you're doing to
because it's turned into the whoever the quarterback is with the best record.
Yeah, that's what it turned.
So
into.
Here's the season passing yards from Patrick Mahomes. He's got 4,543 passing yards, 45 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And then right behind him with passing yards is Ben Roethlisberger with 4,462 with 30 passing touchdowns, 15 interceptions. And then you got Matt Ryan. But then let's go to Drew Brees.
Let's go to Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers is at 3,951 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Right there's your MVP.
But then you got Drew Brees with 3,666 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean he's had an outstanding year. No
but
doubt
guess
about
what? Guess who has the most rushing touchdowns above all those leaders? Ben Roethlisberger.
Really?
He's got 3 rushing touchdowns.
Huh? How about
that? God,
yeah.
Cam get about 3 in a game, Cam.
Cam's got 4. Ben's got 3.
Yeah, this year.
My MVP's Ben. I'll give it to Ben.
All right, folks, we're going to go to a quick commercial. We're going to be back. Keenan, what we got coming up?
We're going to talk a little bit more about the AFC, I guess, and then I want to roll into a little college basketball.
Sound like a winner to me. How about them Tar Heels whooping up on Gonzaga?
I'm not surprised.
Duke couldn't do it, could he, Kenny?
They couldn't do it.
All I got to say, folks, Kevin Hastings brings out the best in Ken and Addison. That's all I got to say. We'll be right back here on WCSL.
Live and uniquely local.
It's a community station.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. WCSL Cherryville.
Country Gold with Terry Clark. I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me this week for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s.
Country Gold with Terry Clark, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at kdcbroadcasting.com. Renato Automall in Shelby, in cooperation with the local Salvation Army of Shelby, wants to help make this Christmas a little brighter for children in our area. Now through December 22nd, we're asking you to drop off an unwrapped toy and put it in the bed of the GMC Sierra truck in the Renato Automall showroom. The toys will be distributed to underprivileged children in our area. Plus, if you'd like to make a donation, a Salvation Army kettle will be available as well. Drop your unwrapped toy off today at Renato Automall, 4423 Stixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. And buy a vehicle at Renato Automall from now through December 22nd and receive a free smoked ham from Morris Supermarket in Shelby.
It's time to order your wings for your holiday parties from Whiskey Mill Bar and Grill in Gastonia. Get them any way you like. They feature award-winning wings to 100% Black Angus burgers. You get good food, good times, and great music, plus a full bar too, with a friendly staff eager to serve you. Whiskey Mill Bar and Grill, 201 West Pennsylvania Avenue, downtown Bessemer City. Open 7 days a week. Merry Christmas to all from everyone at KT Towing in Cherryville, from Dickey Sperling Real Estate in Cherryville, and from the Shop Incorporated of Cherryville. May God bless you richly throughout this holiday season and the upcoming new year. May joy be your gift this Christmas season. Merry Christmas to all from everyone at KT Towing of Cherryville, from Dickey Sperling Real Estate on Main Street in downtown Cherryville, and from the Shop Incorporated on Marys Grove Road in Cherryville, and opening a new second location this spring on Highway 150 West in Cherryville.
Every morning is different for everybody. Nate gets up for the early shift, while Brad is just getting home from the night shift. Pam runs a PR and a 5K, while Drew runs late to work. Beth proposes a road trip to her boyfriend, while Mark proposes to his girlfriend. Luckily, there's a McDonald's for every morning.
Start your morning with a rich, smooth, and freshly brewed McCafe coffee. And now, get any size for just $1 at McDonald's. Limited time offer. Price of participation may vary. A la carte only.
Get healthy savings and dare to compare at Moss Drug in Gastonia. Get Health Mart Sore Throat Spray or Health Mart Children's Allergy Plus Congestion. Your choice, $3.49 each. And Health Mart Vitamin C or Immune Support. Your choice, $4.69 each. Moss Drug and Health Mart Pharmacy, caring for you and about you. Just call 704-867-9611. Moss Drug, 701 West Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, open 7 days a week. If you want it sold, put it on the Carter Chevrolet Swap Shop with Milton Baker. Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 10, right here on Big O Country and KTCBroadcasting.com.
Good. Hey, we're back here on WCSL 1590
Turns up.
on your dial. And we've been talking a lot of football, got into some discussions here. Addison, before we leave the AFC, I wanted your opinion. Who do you think right now is the best team heading into the playoffs from the AFC?
From the AFC? Oh, it's a hard one. Let's see.
Chargers, man. You got to pick the Chargers.
Hold on, let me throw a couple teams out there that I see that are doing really well. Houston, Indy, LA, Kansas City, of course, Pittsburgh. Those are my top 5 in the AFC, and then I'd have to, if I'd pick out any of those 5, I'd have to say
who?
Who has the best? I would say if I had to rank them, I'd say the Chargers are number 1.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And
I'd say the Chargers number 1. And then I'd have to say Pittsburgh number 2.
Huh? Think Pittsburgh?
5, Chargers number 1, Pittsburgh number 2. And then I'm gonna say Kansas City's number 3 behind them, because the reason why is Kansas City's defense is not playing well. They don't have Kareem Hunt anymore, and you know their offense is not what it is. Without him. Kareem Hunt opened up a lot of options for that offense. And then after that, I'd have to say Houston, then Indianapolis.
I think Pittsburgh is sort of dark horse there. I think they've got so many offensive weapons. When their defense steps up a little bit, they play with anybody.
You talk about weapons. They got some offensive weapons. They might have the best offensive weapons in the game.
And
they had a great run.
Juju Schuster, and they got Brown.
Juju, Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I like the run
Vance
back.
McDonald, the tight end.
Yeah.
They had James Conner, but Conner's not playing anymore.
Oh, really?
He's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt.
But so who they got? They got the kid from NC State, don't they?
Samuels.
He's from NC State.
And he looked good in the last game. I've seen him out there. He's making some plays.
He can catch the ball. They say he can catch the ball better than what Connor can out of the backfield.
Yeah, the thing is how
they
good
think he can be special.
How good is he going to be in the long run? Because James Conner showed how good he was all throughout the season.
But
I hear they say he can be special.
Well, I'd like to see it. I want it to show in the playoffs when it comes time. Because Conner had 12 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards rushing in 14.
He's having a great season.
Had a great season.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. I think the Chiefs, their defense is just not. I don't think it can carry them through to the Super Bowl.
Their defense can't carry them through.
I don't think.
And when they play a defense like Chicago, or they play a defense like Indianapolis has a great defense.
They do.
They have a great defense. Their front seven is great.
No.
So do you think who's going to be that second wild card team? Indy or Baltimore?
I'm going to say Baltimore.
No, I say Indianapolis.
I say Baltimore.
Indy's coming on very strong. I would say Baltimore maybe a couple weeks.
Baltimore has a great team, but I just don't see Lamar Jackson being what he is.
Playing well.
They're going to figure him out.
Guys, we got a couple of games this week. Thursday night game got the Redskins and Tennessee Titans, and Saturday games we got Bengals and Browns and Vikings and Lions this week. So those are happening.
Let's go ahead and see. Let's get some picks. Redskins or Titans? Who you got?
Redskins or Titans?
I'm going with
Titans. Yeah, absolutely.
Saturday game Bengals and Browns. Who you got?
I'm going with Browns.
Yeah, I got Browns.
I'll go with Browns.
Vikings and Lions.
I'm going with the Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings.
They got playoff in their picture, and I think they take care of business.
And let's go with the NFC.
Where do they play at that Lions game?
Lions game?
Yeah, where do they play at?
I don't know. That's what I was about to figure out.
I think they play at Detroit. Yeah, I'll go with Minnesota. I'll go with Minnesota.
I got a couple other games. Hold on. I bring a couple other games.
But all the games are important, and there's a lot of upsets this past week.
Yeah.
So nothing's guaranteed in the NFL. You know that. Nothing's guaranteed. I mean, it's really not.
It's a big game. Saturday, 8:20 p.m. Ravens or Chargers? Who you got?
Chargers.
Ravens or Chargers?
Chargers.
I go with the Ravens.
We'll go with the Ravens.
Where they play at?
Playing
at
the Chargers.
I'm gonna go to Chargers.
No, I'm going to Ravens. All right. And then you have, let's see. Here we go. Buccaneers, Cowboys. I got the Cowboys playing at the Cowboys.
NFC East champions.
Falcons and Panthers. I got the Falcons.
Falcons and Panthers.
Yeah, I got the Falcons.
I'll take the Panthers. I'm gonna tell you why.
They're not starting Cam.
Doesn't matter. I think their defense.
That whole offense revolves around Cam. That offense, the pass option, the read option.
I'm gonna take the Panthers.
You take the Panthers. Texans and Eagles. This is a big game for the Texans. I mean, for the Eagles, this is a big game. They have
Texans
to win
win.
this. You got Texans. I got the Eagles.
I got Philly. Philly.
I got the
win
Eagles.
that ball game.
Giants. All right, this is a big game. If Odell plays this game, I got the Giants. Giants and Colts. Who you got? If Odell plays this game, he's been out the last 2 weeks.
Colts.
I got the Giants.
I got Indy.
I got Colts.
I got the Giants because Giants. If they got Saquon,
Let me ask
they
you
got
a question,
Odell.
Addison. When Dallas wins the NFC East this week, beats Tampa Bay, where Philadelphia's big game for them? They're done.
If the Cowboys, if the Cowboys don't win,
they're still
the games haven't played.
Card. They still wild card.
I don't know.
They still haven't played yet. They got to play the game.
What I'm saying is, can they win a wild? What's the record?
Who? 7-7.
7-7, 9-7.
There's got to be 2 wild card teams.
Yeah, let's.
You might be right.
Seattle, Minnesota.
Let me tell you the wild cards for the NFC right now. The wild cards for the NFC is Seattle and Minnesota. Okay, they could beat out Minnesota.
Yeah, they could.
Minnesota. Thank you. Minnesota has to play the Lions, and then guess who they got to play at the very end of the season? Guess who they have to play at the very end of the season?
Who?
The Vikings have to play the Bears.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
that's a big game. So it would be a big game. Yeah.
So
there.
If I'm saying this right, if the Eagles win their next 2 games, which is against the Redskins, it should be a cakewalk. They don't have a quarterback, should be a cakewalk. Then you got the Texans. If they could beat the Texans this week, they'll be the wild card, because the Vikings are not going to beat the Bears.
Yeah. So I mean, the wild card's still up for grabs. Isn't
So right now, Minnesota is sitting at 7-6-1 in their wild card, and then you have Eagles 7-7. So I have the Eagles becoming that wild card, playing the crappy Cowboys.
I sort of
beat them.
I sort of sense Tim's a little afraid of.
I got the Cowboys getting beat.
No. Wait, how can we beat them twice? One time let them go to overtime.
Kevin, did you just give me stats of Cam Newton's 20 MVP season? Why are we talking about passing yards? He's a running quarterback.
They leave all that out. They don't count.
Why do you don't bring up his running stats?
Quarterback's not supposed to run.
Get over here, you cheerleader.
Quarterback's not supposed to run.
Yeah, quarterbacks don't run in the NFL. And then we got, let's see. I got the Eagles. I got the Eagles as a wild card. I got the Eagles
I think it could.
I got Eagles and Seahawks as the wild card.
Well, let's talk about the college basketball. How about congratulations to the Carolina Tar Heels whooping up on Gonzaga.
That's a running stat.
Gonzaga there. How about that?
Yeah, running stats.
Yeah.
Give me his running stats.
Gonzaga, the
Give
team.
me his running stats for this year.
Team that beat Duke. The
quarterbacks do run.
Duke, who everybody crowned the best team in the world after they destroyed Kentucky in their first game. Gonzaga, who got upset by Tennessee, rolled into Chapel Hill, and 2 big offensive teams that like to run up and down the floor. And the Tar Heels did it better.
Tar Heels,
as they won 102-90.
Johnson Little, who has his shot blocked, but Carolina recovers. And Garrison Brooks.
A little bit of Tar Heel action there.
Line, knifes in and throws it home with 2 hands. Leaky Black with the steal. Eric the freshman.
Here's some highlights from that great game.
There you go. I was going to say, what the world?
Step back 3. Oh, my goodness. Seventh Woods, top of the key over to Cam Johnson. Trying to drive in, back out the Woods. Quick 3 from
So you can tell we got some Carolina fans here. Well, I'm the only NC State fan besides Terry Reinhardt.
Shot clock out to Cam Johnson. Long distance.
They won 103-90 despite turning it over 23 times. If they had turned it over, it could have been a bigger.
I was going to say, they turned it over a lot.
But they shot the ball well.
What did Luke do?
And they did. Luke, 20 points, 16 boards. Wow. Big game.
Wow.
So they dominated on the board.
They did dominate
on the board.
They turned it over too much, but they played better defense. I'm not saying it was great on defense. Played the best defense they played all year, but they shot the ball well. They hit 13 out of 25 from 3. When you do that, you know they shot over 50% for the game. they cut down their turnovers and play with the kind of energy they played, they can play with anybody.
NC State
including
tonight.
The Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, they play Auburn tonight. Auburn's pretty good. They're top 10 team, ranked number 8, Ken.
Yeah, let's go over the rankings right fast. Kansas is ranked number 1 in the country. They're 9-0. Your Duke Blue Devils, number 2, 9-1. Tennessee up to number 3 after upsetting Gonzaga. They got an 8-1 record. The Michigan Wolverines are 11-0. That's a team that beat Carolina pretty handily earlier. The Virginia Cavaliers come in at number 5, 9-0 record. Nevada 6, 11-0. Auburn, your Auburn Tigers, 7th team at 9-1. Gonzaga 8th at 9-2. Carolina 9 at 8-2. Michigan State 10th at 9-2. And others in the ACC. Florida State comes in 11th with a 9-1 record, and Virginia Tech comes in 13th with a 9-1 record. So there's 5 ACC teams there in your top 13, Tim.
Yeah, they're ACC's always been dominant.
I looked through the top 25, and I never found NC State.
That's all right. We're coming. We're coming, Ken. Just hang in there. I promise you, we're coming.
Now, the Tar Heels have another big game this Saturday in Chicago against the Kentucky Wildcats. So that'll be another good team for them.
They can beat Kentucky. They should beat Kentucky.
Who, by the way, are playing the toughest schedule in the nation this year. They rated number
Carolina
1.
Is?
Carolina
Really?
Number 1 schedule in the whole nation.
So Duke's not playing number 1?
Are you kidding me? The boss, Calvin, was in here a while ago, and he was asking some interesting questions. How many ranked teams has Duke beat away from home?
It's Harvard. Yeah,
they don't play everybody at home. They don't. The non-conference teams, they play at home. Oh,
it's very interesting.
Goodness. Unless they enter a tournament or something. And they playing a bunch of nobodies this whole month, and so they have a 9-1 record. But as Gonzaga proved, they're not unbeatable, and they will lose some more before the season's over.
Duke will.
Yeah, and my Tar Heels will get them at least once.
I would not surprise me at all if Carolina don't beat Duke. I mean, it's history. It's a rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Probably the greatest rivalry in college basketball. Would you not say that?
Absolutely.
Duke and Carolina?
Absolutely. There's no question about that.
Yeah. I mean, people's going to argue and say UCLA and
in college basketball,
Duke and Carolina.
Some may argue it's the biggest rivalry in all sports, but it definitely is in basketball.
I'd say definitely I'd say in professional and college, it's both of them.
Yeah,
I would say that. Now in professional football, I mean, you got the Cowboys and the Redskins. You've got. I mean, you got to go back years. You got Green Bay and Chicago. I mean, but in sports wise, and you got the Yankees and the Red Sox, and the great rivalries of sports. But yeah, I'm like you, Ken. College basketball or basketball bar none. Period. It doesn't matter what's college professional. Carolina Duke. Top of the line.
Yeah.
You don't get no better.
And as we approach the first of the year, you folks all know conference play will be starting here in a couple of weeks, and you'll find a little more about all these teams as they start knocking heads with their teams that they play in their conference and playing a little stiffer competition. You'll see things sort of work their way out, and you'll see for sure who are the best teams in the country. But I think you're going to have 3 or 4 ACC teams in that top 10 pretty much all year.
What you got coming up on college football, Kenny?
Well, we had the bowl games have already got started. They started early, and there's so many of the bowls. We're not going to try to go through them, but there was a New Orleans bowl that a local team played in. Appalachian State defeated Middle Tennessee 45-13. Scott Satterfield, the coach that just left to go to Louisville, and the Appalachian State Mountaineers have a new coach, Tim. They went over to NC State and got him. Eli Drinkwitz, the North Carolina State offensive coordinator, is the new coach for Appalachia.
All right. How about that? So we're losing our offensive coordinator.
You're losing an offensive coordinator, and they talked about what a great offensive coordinator he was, and so they asked him about that position as head coach there. He said he was going to be the offensive coordinator and the head coach, so he's going to play both hats. They're going to do both.
So I'm kind of surprised that Satterfield left and didn't coach the bowl game, Ken. I mean, I understand him leaving, going to Louisville, but I'm kind of surprised he did that.
But
I had something to do with recruits. I know that.
I'm sure it did.
But
recruiting, recruiting's
he's been in Appalachia for a long time.
To mention that today is the official first day you can sign. I mean, they've been verbal commitments, but today is the signing day for college football.
How about UNC Charlotte? Have you heard anything about UNC Charlotte?
Well, they got a new coach. I don't know that much about him. I understand he's a young guy. He's in his early 30s. I don't know how the recruiting's going. We'll talk a little bit more about recruiting probably next week. But I understand Mac Brown pulled a couple rabbits out of the hat and got a couple guys to change their decision.
I saw that.
Carolina. So he's doing pretty well in just a short period of time. It's about
he's always been a good recruiter.
So that's
good
positive
recruiter
from that standpoint.
Yeah, Coach Brown.
But I mean, he's got to bring some more talent in, no doubt. But at least he's in a short period of time got a few recruits.
Asking college football playoffs.
Yeah, the semifinals start December 29th. You got the Cotton Bowl, starts at 4 o'clock. You got Clemson versus Notre Dame, and then you got the Orange Bowl, starts at 8 o'clock. You got Alabama versus Oklahoma, and let's get a few projections. We got a couple more weeks to talk about. We got a week or two to talk about that. But who do you think's going to win that between Clemson and Notre Dame? Just early pick.
Clemson, all the way.
You got what about Alabama and Oklahoma?
Oklahoma's going to beat Alabama.
Think so?
Yep.
No, Alabama's defense is too good. I can't see.
I'm telling you.
I see it being another thing.
I'm telling you.
Championship, Clemson and Alabama. I got Clemson.
Clemson's going to win national championship.
I got Clemson and Alabama.
They're going to beat Oklahoma.
I'm going to go with Bama.
Look, if Oklahoma beats Alabama, they'll win the whole thing.
No, I don't. Clemson's going to win it. Clemson will beat Alabama.
I got Clemson, but if Oklahoma upsets Alabama, I got Oklahoma winning the whole thing.
I'm telling you,
it'll roll over.
Alabama's defense is not as great as it been in the past. Their offense is good. And I'm gonna tell you something. There's gonna be a lot of points in that game.
Yeah, because
they might score 70 points apiece.
Because Oklahoma is not going to slow down Alabama.
No.
Alabama will slow down Oklahoma.
Listen, Alabama will put over 45, maybe 50 points on the board. So Oklahoma's going to have to listen. I think the topic. Let me think about this. What kind of quarterback has always gave Alabama fits? Johnny Manziel. He beat Alabama. And I'm going to tell you, that quarterback at Oklahoma is the same kind of quarterback as Manziel is, but he's a better athlete. This kid can run. And I'm going to tell you right now.
Kyler Murray.
Yes,
he's
that
the
Murray
Heisman
kid.
Winner.
He is a real, listen, and he may not even play football professional.
No, he's already said he wasn't.
He's going to play baseball. He's a top 10 draft pick in baseball, Ken.
He's a great ball player.
Yeah, the Oakland A's already got to sign him. But listen, I'm telling you right now, mark this down. Oklahoma's going to beat them. I'm telling you, that kid's special.
Yeah, but one guy can't win him, Tim.
Yeah, listen, they got some weapons. They got weapons.
I know they put. But I'm
telling
line
you,
up the scoreboard with points.
Johnny Manziel beat one of the greatest defenses.
No.
Yes.
It wasn't just Johnny Manziel.
I mean,
They had Mike Evans.
Mike Evans from Tampa Bay.
Johnny Manziel's not even playing football in America anymore. He's playing in Canada. He's not that great.
He was a great college football player.
He was great in college, but he don't make money in college.
Well,
it's money Manziel.
Make money in college. His dad's a multimillionaire.
Well, his dad has money anyway.
He signed autographs.
No, I'm not a big Alabama fan. I'll probably be pulling for Oklahoma, but I expect Alabama to win the game.
I'm telling you right now, I think that type of quarterback has always gave Nick Saban fits. Well, he can run in the pocket, move around.
The thing about Saban.
Oh, he's a great.
You give Saban time to prepare, his team will be prepared.
Greatest college coach of all time.
He'll be
Nick
prepared.
I would have to say.
And he gets all kind of talent. I mean, you got to know that. I mean, he can pick and choose. He gets lots of talent.
Is Saban in the same category as Mike Krzyzewski? Ken?
No, he's way above Krzyzewski. He actually expects to win championships and wins them.
Nick Saban is 1 for 4 versus Heisman winners. And throughout his career, he's 1 for 4.
I like it.
Interesting stat by Addison Johnson over there.
No, by Kevin Hastings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kevin gave us a bunch of stats on Cam Newton MVP season in 2015.
Read them down, Ken. Read them down.
Well, they got him ranked.
Here, read those stats. Make sure you get all the stats.
Well, he's got the passing stats here. 3,867 yards, 16th. Completion period percentage 59.8, 27th. 35 touchdowns thrown, 2nd. 10 interceptions, 13th, and a rating of 99.4, 7th. What he didn't give you was that he had 636 rushing yards and 132 tips. 10 rushing touchdowns.
10. That's 45 total touchdowns, Kevin.
45 total touchdowns he was responsible for, either passing or running.
See, what people don't realize is here at KTC Broadcasting, here at WCSL, Kevin Hastings brings out the best of Ken Link and Addison Johnson. I'm telling you right now. He brings out the best of these two boys.
Bring out the dark side.
we just, you know what, Tim? We just need somebody who's a big time Duke fan to come in here and get us more riled up.
Oh man, I tell you, we might be fighting in here, Ken. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm not gonna fight.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
Used to fight over things.
I guarantee Calvin Hastings being here with us. Stand by, guys. We need to get
Calvin to be up here.
Yeah, we get Gerald to come in here with us. Gerald's a big Duke fan.
Oh, yeah. Get him up here.
Yeah, get Gerald Withers. Yeah, he'll come in here with us. He'll sit down.
I don't want to beat up on Gerald. I
like Gerald. Gerald's the best. You know, I did a remote with Calvin at Ronaldo Auto Mall, and he was the one person. Calvin said he was coming. I said, he's the one person I want to meet, Gerald Withers.
Yeah.
He's first class. Absolutely. All right, boys, I tell you, good show today. A lot of professional football, which is getting toward the playoffs, so we can talk a little bit more. You know, then we got college basketball coming up. It's in it'll be prime time come January, Ken.
And we'll be getting in a little bit of high school basketball as we turn the year. Tim and I did one high school game
North Lincoln,
last week, and we'll be on vacation as far as those games being played until after the first year, and we'll pick up and do some more games.
Yeah, and I was telling Kevin that I thought Vesper City had a pretty decent basketball team. I tell you, that backcourt, Harden and Davis and the other young kid,
they're pretty good.
Really good backcourt for Vesper City. So, but yeah, absolutely, going to be a lot of high school basketball, and then we're going to be moving into the spring season, Ken. You know what that brings?
Oh yeah, baseball,
absolutely. All righty, folks, that's going to do it right here on the Best in Sports, right here on a Wednesday, and you guys have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you here next time, right here on the Best in Sports, WCSL 1590 and 92.3. Tim Johnson and Ken Link and Addison Johnson. You guys have a great Merry Christmas, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody have a Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you on the other side next week.
Tar Heels.
Absolutely.
Bulldogs.
All right, that'll do it. We'll see you guys here next week.
But Carolina recovers, and Garrison Brooks and Johnson from the three-point line knifes in and throws it home with two hands. Leaky Black with the steal, Eric, the freshman with the...
We know what the community wants and needs because we live here too.
Definitely in touch with the city and what's going on.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville.
It's time now for the news. A new radio show is taking the nation by storm. It's called This is the 60s, with the best music from the best decade. And, well, thank you. Who are you? Well, I'm J.J. Wilson, and I'm the host of This is the 60s. This is the 60s, the best music from the best decade. News headlines, pop culture corner, and more. But I was going to say all that. Get out of my news booth, certainly.
This is the 60s, Friday mornings from 10 a.m. till 12 noon on The Boss, WOHS, AM and FM in Shelby, WLON in Lincolnton.
Caleb Estridge of Kings Mountain is this month's McDonald's WOHS What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Caleb is a senior at Kings Mountain High School and is the son of David and Cindy Estridge of Kings Mountain. Caleb is a member of the Mountaineer Cross Country team, along with indoor and outdoor track and pole vault. Caleb has a 4.4615 grade point average. His advanced courses include AP Psychology, AP Government, AP Chemistry, AP English Language, AP Statistics, AP Human Geography, AP English Literature, AP Calculus. Caleb is a member of the Elizabeth Baptist Church, where he is a member of the youth band, backpack ministry, basketball, and softball teams, and the youth group. Caleb is a member of the Boy Scouts, a certified lifeguard, and has his emergency care and safety certification. Upon graduation, Caleb plans to attend NC State University and seek a dual major in chemical engineering and paper science engineering. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete, not only for accomplishments